consistency is not good. Hey guys, so welcome back to another video. I've been going through some things. I want to share them with you. And only like a few people in my circle know what I've been going through, unless my mom tells them. I like to keep a lot of my life private, but it's hard to just talk to people and just smile and be like, oh yeah, everything's great, which everything is great, but inside I'm just like, and you know, many people have it worse, and I don't say that to pity them, to make myself feel grateful. No, heck no. Since I have a camera, I have a voice, and I have kind of the courage to share this. October is Pituitary Awareness Month, and I am wearing gray, and I'm going through all of these things right now. And what better way to just share it and broadcast it to the world? I want to bring awareness to something that I've been going through, and I'm sure a lot of people are going through the same thing. So put on a lot of eyeliner, put colors on my face, try not to cry. There's nothing to cry about. It's just I get a little emotional. So what I want you guys to take away from this is just know that you're not alone. Not saying I'm the only one going through this, but there's so many people out there. There's a community, there's forums, so many tools nowadays that you could just go out there and talk to people. And I'm so grateful that I have my family and my friends. I could just call when I'm like, I don't want to think about it, I don't want to think about it, I don't want to think about it. I'm so grateful that I have. Don't cry. I said I was not gonna cry. I didn't even start the video yet. Okay. You need to smile when you're like about to cry, so then like you won't cry. Okay. Yes. Okay, I think I'm calm now. See, dancing always helps. So let's rewind. I'm so grateful to have my friends and family with me, and I can call them whenever I want, just cry it all out on the phone and just talk to them. They always tell me things are gonna be okay, everything's gonna turn out fine. And I hold that really dear to my heart. It's not about the condition itself, it's just I'm afraid of the unknown. But just having that support there for me at all times, I need that. And I know a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people have family that don't know what's going on, but it's always great to have support. I hope this means something to someone. Maybe sharing my story will make somebody else feel not as alone. So yeah, so just keep on watching. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I am not a doctor, so please consult with your doctor for anything and everything. So let's go. This is my story. Oh wait, should I make this like proper? Hi, my name is Emily and this is my story. So I'm sharing my journey 5 years later and I'm still here, so that's a good sign. Chiari malformation is a condition in which your brain tissue extends into your spinal canal. It occurs when part of your skull is abnormally small or misshapen, pressing on your brain and forcing it downward. I have a small head. So I'm just like, but that doesn't mean my brain is small. So let's say this is your brain. This is a small brain. Let's say this is your brain, right? This nice globe of endless information. And your cerebellum, the hindbrain, will be right here. The cerebellum accounts for body movement, balance, and coordination, right? Yeah. So I was born premature. I was born early November and I was supposed to be born, I think, mid-January or so. I don't know how to explain this, but from my understanding, I'm guessing it's like a fetal development thing. So I think it's just like my skull fused before my brain really got in there. So instead of my cerebellum being like this, because you have a normal size head, but no, my head is kind of small. It's kind of like going like this, like kind of misshapen, going down. And a lot of people don't know that they have Chiari, and you might actually have Chiari malformation and you might not even know it. So I have a lot of issues with my balance, but I do yoga. I just try not to let it affect me. Sometimes I'll get my flare-ups and just it'll get pretty bad and I'll get these headaches that I can't even deal. And there's different types of Chiari. There's type 1, type 2, and type 3. And of course it gets more severe. I believe is type 1. Sometimes you can have Chiari and you could be asymptomatic, meaning you don't have the symptoms for it, or you have all the symptoms for it and your Chiari is probably not as bad. It's different in everyone. The way that I found out about it, I was just getting these really weird headaches, and I don't get headaches. Not even a headache, it's like literally a headache. My head would be aching. Kind of like you had a big Slurpee and you slurped that all up and you had the biggest brain freeze, and then somebody was stomping on your head. Like literally it felt like that. It was not a tension headache. I'm so happy I don't get those anymore. Please, knock on wood. But they're so bad. Down on a little index card, like things that would trigger my headache. Like, no, nothing would trigger it. It would come out of nowhere. I'll get it while I would be sleeping. Like, what the heck is going on? Everyone's different. Everyone experiences different symptoms. Very bad at explaining things. So I have a tumor on my pituitary gland, and your pituitary gland sits like right here or so. Like I can't, it's like right there. Google. Your pituitary gland is also known as the master gland, and you have the anterior or the front part and the posterior or the back part. And basically they both secrete hormones. The front part secretes way more hormones than the back part. One of the hormones that I am overproducing is the prolactin hormone. So we all have prolactin, male and female. So we have a range. Normal prolactin ranges.
According to Medline Plus, the normal values for prolactin are males less than 20 nanograms per deciliter, non-pregnant females 5 to 40 nanograms per deciliter, and pregnant women 80 to 400 nanograms per deciliter. Thanks, Google.
But the thing is, depending on the lab that you go to, which I have noticed, the range kind of like shifts. What? Because everything that I'm looking up is all different. So don't quote me on the numbers, but let's say the normal range is from 2 to 25, right? This is normal for a non-pregnant female. You are not pregnant. This is a normal range. And for a pregnant female, don't quote me on the numbers, it should be from, let's say, 80 to 400. And this is for a pregnant female. So you are pregnant and your prolactin levels should be in this range, and that is normal. So for me, I should be here. When I found out, I was all the way at 95. So what the heck? I'm not pregnant. Why is this happening? I don't get it. My medical journey begins in 2012. Probably way before that, but that was really the first time I went to the doctor and got blood work done. Well, in high school, I wouldn't get my periods. Everyone would be complaining about their cramps, and I'm like, oh, I don't get that. I just get back pains. Then I was just like, okay, I got into college and I was still not getting my periods, normally at least. I wouldn't get my periods for like, 5 to 6 months, and then I'll just be spotted. And I am going down a spiral, like my hormones, freaking angry, sad, crying, like these mood swings were crazy. Like I didn't get it. Let me go to the doctor and check it out. So I go to the doctor. So then they did blood work. When the blood work came back, everything seems good, except, wait, here, flip number 5. She told me that my testosterone levels were abnormally high. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? I'm like, wait, what? So am I gonna get a beard? So they diagnosed me with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and many women probably have this and they probably don't even know. Go get blood work done. Some signs can be you're not getting your periods normally, you have excessive hair growth, fat distribution will be mostly in your belly area because the testosterone, weird mood swings, and it could also lead to diabetes. You could also develop depression and also infertility. That happened, I dealt with it. How I went about it, I did a lot of like self-care, so I exercise a lot more, I try to cut out a lot of sugar, I try to cut out a lot of cheese. And if you know me, I love cheese. Cheese is everything to me. And a lot of dairy, because I figured animals, you're drinking their hormones, and I have a hormone problem, and more hormones and hormones, a spiral. So that's what I was thinking. So I'm like, okay, let me just cut back a little bit. It was difficult. I went back to eating a whole bunch of cheese and dairy and stuff right after that. Speaking about that, I also have psoriasis. Just a mess. Smooth now. Like I had a flare-up like a couple weeks ago because I was eating a ton of cheese, and I was just like, oh my god, amazing. But no, my flare-up was so bad I felt like I was gonna start bleeding. Anyways, PCOS. My sisters, hey sister. At first I was pretty scared because I thought I was never gonna be able to have kids, but the doctor reassured me there's so many ways that you can have kids in the future. That was always my worry of infertility. But nowadays there's so many things. You have the in vitro insemination, you have so many like possibilities. It's money, yes, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. That was 2012. Found out that I had PCOS. Now I don't know if this is related to anything, but I really think it is. Fast forward to 2015, when I started to get very nauseous. At first, I thought it was a stomach issue because I was so nauseous. I wouldn't think it would be a brain issue. I don't know, I'm just gonna try to eat clean and whatever. I was still nauseous. I was still vomiting everywhere. I was a mess. I went to my doctor. They do blood work on me. Came back normal. Even my testosterone was like getting in check. But something else came up. and my prolactin levels were extremely high. I think this is hair flip number 6. Sometimes I felt like I wouldn't be able to move my neck, like I'll move on this side, and most I would go is like here, or not even. Trying to like Google things, and I was just like, okay, let me stay away from the internet, because now I think I have like meningitis, and I don't even know. I just felt like I was in a daze, like in a fog. Like, I feel like I can't explain this. I feel like whoever knows what I'm talking about, you know. It's the weirdest feeling. This did not feel right. I had something in my gut telling me, besides the nauseousness, telling me that this is not okay. So before all of this, I always had back problems, and I always had like this numbness, tingling in my extremities. So I didn't think it was much of an issue. My scoliosis isn't that bad. Anyways, I have a lot of issues, but still smiling. And then I would start to get a lot of ringing in my ears, and even just getting an ear infection. Like, I would try to justify everything with something else. The nauseousness, maybe it was just stress. The vomiting, maybe it was something I ate. The tingliness and stuff, I thought it was just my back. Like, I would try to justify everything. I would get very dizzy, not be very balanced, but I've always had that issue. So I'm just like, I'm just not coordinated. I'm clumsy. So it's just like, I always knew that. But I felt like it was getting worse. At the same time, a lot of people are clumsy, and that happens to everyone. So I didn't think this was an issue. It's okay to think the worst of the worst, because what else is gonna drive you to the doctors? Like, if you're like, oh, it's nothing, like you're just suffering from stress, like you're fine. You're not gonna pay attention to it. You're gonna let life pass you by, and you're gonna let these symptoms get worse, and then you're gonna go when it's too late. Always been pretty on point with my intuition. What led me to the doctor was that, like, one day, feeling very like scared inside. Like, I was feeling like something's really wrong, something's really wrong. I have to go to the doctor, something's not right. Like, I was starting to feel like this. So I set up an appointment, I go to my doctor, tell her everything that I'm feeling. Again, she says the same thing. Oh, you're suffering from tension headaches. I'll give you some Advil, Tylenol, whatever. You're going through midterms. I'm like, oh yeah, I am. She's, yeah, it's just that. Just relax, breathe, you'll be fine. I'm like, that was it. I was freaking out, and she said, I'm gonna be fine, and she gave me Tylenol. Like, what the heck? I left there. I'm just like, this isn't it. Like, this does not feel right. Something does not feel right. Made another appointment, had a referral. I went to a neurologist. Again, he told me the same thing. He said, oh, you're just suffering from tension headaches. Does your mom get migraines? I'm like, yes, she gets migraines. It's like, okay, it's genetic. You're just getting tension headaches. You're fine. Or cluster headaches or whatever the heck. And I was like, no, this is not right. Like, I did not care what they were saying. He gave me, here, take these 2 pills, naproxen and sumatriptan or whatever it was. How do you say it?
Sumatriptan.
Gave me that. That was the worst medication that I've ever taken in my life. I took that because I was like, I just want these headaches to go away. I don't care. Kind of like blacked out. I don't know, it was weird. I couldn't feel my body. I got really numb. I was shaking. I thought I was just getting a panic attack. And then I go to the bathroom and I throw up. Okay, I'm not taking this medication ever again. I don't know if that was part of the side effects. This did not help. Medications that I'm taking are not helping. Exercising, I'm eating pretty decent. Something is still wrong. Like, I don't know what the heck is happening. Something is wrong. So then after I met with the neurologist, I think he referred me to an ophthalmologist. I think it was called a retinal angiogram or something like that. Yeah, it dilates your pupils, and then you can see the neurons, what's happening in there. Everything was fine. They're like, oh, you're fine. Continue to ignore their medical advice. So I'm just like, okay, something is still wrong. I don't know what the heck. My primary care is just referring me to all these other specialties. I went to my gastro. They did an endoscopy. So they stuck a tube down my throat. They looked at my stomach. They also did a biopsy to make sure everything was all right. Everything came back normal. Just saw some like gastric ulcers and things like that, but nothing too serious. No, something is wrong. I'm telling you, something is wrong. I don't know what it is. I don't know where to go. Like, I went to a gastro, I went to a neuro, I went to optometrist, ophthalmologist. I went to the ear doctor. I'm just like, I had a hearing test. Everything came back like slightly not normal, but it was pretty like within the range. I don't know. So then I got my ears checked. They just sent me to a occupational therapist, and we were working with my balance because my balance was terrible. Really dizzy. I'm falling a lot more than usual. It took an emotional toll on me. I'm trying to think positive. You know, I was trying so hard. I was freaking out, but I'm like, you know, be calm. Everything will turn out fine. One day, like, I got really bad while I was at occupational therapy. I was frustrated. Like, when I get really angry, I cry. So it's so, I don't know. So I was getting frustrated. I'm like, I don't get it. Like, we're doing the exercises. I'm not getting any better. I'm still nauseous. I'm still throwing up. I'm still like, my balance is getting worse, I feel like. And then my occupational therapist was like, what if like you have like really bad ear infection that could be life-threatening? And I'm just like, oh my god. And then I started to freak out, and then I'm just like, oh my god. But I'm like, nah, definitely not. It can't be. I always felt like it was something else. Like every time they would tell me something, I'm like, no, it has to be something else. Like she referred me to get like another test done. So what we did was a VNG medical test. It's a series of tests designed to document a person's ability to follow visual objects with their eyes and how well their eyes respond to the information from the vestibular system. So, and hear your ears. This test also addresses the functionality of each ear and if a vestibular deficit may be the cause of dizziness or a balance problem. And also an MRI of the brain can reveal the presence of tumors, strokes, and this and that. So we didn't want to do an MRI because of radiation. We did the VNG testing. There were abnormalities. They referred me to a neurologist. Surprised that they did a VNG testing. He's like, wow, like you got so many tests done. I'm like, yeah. He was like, do a brain MRI. Why wait? Like you waited so long. I was like, thank you. This was a completely different neurologist. I'm like, I'm not going back to that guy. Like, what the heck? A neurologist contacts me and he's like, okay, if I could go into the office a little earlier to talk about my results. I don't remember if I was with my mom. Oh, no, I was by myself that day. That was tough. I don't know if this was illegal, but at that time I recorded the conversation between me and my doctor because I was forgetting a lot of things. I felt like I was just in my own headspace and I was trying to block everything out. So I recorded the conversation. So then I could like remember if he said anything important, what's in my results. He's like, okay, so 2 things. 1, you have a pituitary tumor. And then he's like, do you have any blood results? I was like, yeah, and I gave him my blood results. He saw that my prolactin levels were pretty high. He's like, yeah, you have a pituitary tumor, but it's really small. It's a microadenoma. Maybe it'll go away on its own, maybe it'll go away with medication, so don't worry about it. And it's benign, not cancerous. But right away, I'm just like, tumor in brain. What? So in a way, I felt like a relief. I was just like, I could breathe now, like, this sucks. I felt so, in a way, happy because I found out what I had. Not knowing what's going on, health, mentally and stuff, if I don't know what's going on, I get a lot of anxiety. Then he tells me that I also have the Chiari Malformation. So now I have not 1 thing, I have 2 things. I was so happy when I found out I had Chiari, which was the weirdest thing. I knew it. These were not tension headaches. I knew it. Like, I was just so happy and upset. But like, I was happy because I was just like, I knew something was wrong. I followed my intuition. I did not give up. I was persistent. Like, even though the doctors were like, yeah, you're fine. Or, oh, you don't look like a person that would deal with this. Oh, you look healthy. You're young. You do exercise. You look thin. You're fine. I'm just like, do children ask, like, I'm sorry, but like, do children ask for deadly cancers? Do children ask for any of this? Like, they're young, they seem healthy and fine, but do they ask for any of this? These illnesses, infections, they don't have borders. They don't discriminate. They could just attack anyone. I feel like the whole thing about going into the medical field is to empathize with people. Nothing gets on my nerves more than that. I'm sorry if this sounds like so bad. I understand like doctors kind of have to like calm the tension. You're talking to a lot of families. You have to kind of like, calm people down and make sure it's like not a huge deal. But at the same time, don't lie. Don't say that things will be fine. Don't just like ignore the results. Don't ignore the treatments. Like, no, don't do that. So I went to go get a snack. I was pretty hungry. I forgot where I left off. I got some chicken. Ain't nothing but a chicken wing. So good. So good. Anyways, put on cabergoline or cabergoline. I couldn't take a whole tablet. Any side effect that is on a pill, I will get all the side effects. I felt different. Like, I always felt like congested, like my nose, I always had a stuffy nose. Whenever I would take the pill, the next day I would feel, remember, I could not tolerate it. I just felt so angry, and like, I don't know if it was because I found out about these things or like just the medication. I don't know. Go back to my neurologist. I tell him I don't want to be on the pills anymore. I hate it. He's like, okay, so let's get off of it. Your tumor is very small anyway. Throughout like the months, I took 2 more MRIs with contrast. So my prolactin levels were increasing. Sometimes people could have a golf-sized pituitary tumor. They could have no symptoms. Or sometimes people could have a very, very small pituitary tumor and they could have all the symptoms. So it's just like, people are different. So I was on the side where it was very small and I was getting all these symptoms. I was getting like really bad breast pain, like so bad. Prolactin is a hormone that we all secrete. Pregnant women, they secrete more of this hormone and they start to lactate. And, since my hormones are pretty high, I produce breast milk, which is weird. I'm just like, what the heck? That's it? Like, this is how like I'm gonna be? Since I started to get more like breast pain, it was hard for me to wear a bra. And it still kind of is, and I try to wear like more sports bras that are like loose or whatever, but like it hurt. I feel like my mom and my sister have been yelling at me. They're like, you have to wear a bra, your boobs are gonna get saggy. And I'm just like, but it hurts. That's kind of an issue now, so that has been giving me problems. They were like, oh, take the cabergoline so then the pain could go away, but I'm like, what would I rather have? The side effects from that, and it will damage probably every other organ in my body? That's me thinking. Or the breast pain that I could just like, let me just wing it. Let me just feel it out, I guess. And I was just like, I'm not taking the medication. I'm just gonna deal with this. It's still pretty painful, but I'm dealing with it. It's fine. Like, I feel like it's normal to me now. After all this time, I haven't been consistent with an endocrinologist. So I'm like, I should probably go to an endocrinologist now that, like, you know, I'm having all of these issues. Fast forward to 2017 in the summer. So she was like, let's do another MRI. I was like, okay, great. I haven't done an MRI since 2016, so let's do it. Because my neurologist was like, oh, let's just do visual field testing. So we've been doing visual field testing this whole time and blood work. So the thing is with the pituitary tumor, if it grows, and since it's secreting a lot of hormone, it probably will grow, it could press against the optic chiasm. So it's like the optic nerve could start to lose your vision. And we didn't want that to happen. My prolactin levels were still pretty high and they were elevating. Like, if it comes back normal, great. If it doesn't, then, you know, we'll talk about what we have to do. I was so confident that this was all gonna be normal. I had my MRI done at the beginning of October. My endocrinologist appointment was at the end of November. I'm like, ugh, I can't wait another month. Like, I have to know what's going on. So then I scheduled an appointment with my neurologist. I'm like, let me just go to him. Either way, like, it's my brain. I'm sure he could read this and tell me if anything else is going on. So I went to him. So it was a little different this time when he saw the results. He was like, oh, it looked like it grew in size. I said, oh, does it look bad? Happy thoughts, nothing's bad, nothing's bad. Oh, it did grow in size, a lot bigger than before, so, and it's leading to a macro adenoma. Micro with an I, tiny, macro with an A, larger. My neurologist was there from the very beginning, and we already tried everything out. We tried bromocriptine, we tried cabergoline, the two medications that are out there, but we tried out those medications and I can't. I put my head in a space that I can, but my body is just like, it can't. It doesn't deal well with the medication or the side effects. If I had to take that medication for years to come, I'm like, I don't want to live a life like that, you know? Whoa. We tried medication, been doing testing, blood tests, visual field testing. Seems like it's getting larger. Why wait until you start to lose your vision to do something about it? I'm all about prevention. I want to get it over with. So then he suggested surgery. But then I'm like, oh, crap. Like, I'm afraid. Even though, yes, I want to do it because just want to get it over with, but at the same time, deal with the side effects with the medication. Is it going to damage the rest of my body? Am I going to have any other side effects? The way that the pharmaceutical companies are like set up now, I feel like it's just like, it's all a business. So I'm just like, I don't know. I trust no one. It's like not even a big surgery either. Transsphenoidal. There we go. Transsphenoidal surgery. They just go up your nose, take it out, and that's it. Just saying this out loud, I'm just like, just do it. But at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know, like my neurologist said yes. He referred me to a neurosurgeon that I'm still waiting on his reply. My appointment is the second week of November, so I don't know if I'm gonna upload this by then. Hopefully I do. Just one thing for sure that I know that has really always helped me were my family, or the few people that I have close to me. And without them, I don't know where I would be, because little things like that, like even though like I don't want people to notice and I try so hard to like hold back the tears, a lot of people just reassured me that I'm not alone and I have my family and I have my friends and there's such a great support system. And I just think about how great they are and it makes me so happy. Now I think I might cry. One of the people that I really care about is watching this and I'm just like, stop, I love you so much and thank you for everything. And no. Can't even speak. I just want to say thank you for everything because, you know, they were my rocks, and without them, it would have been hard to like deal with things. This is so lame. I can't. It's just, I just think about how great they are, and it just makes me so grateful that I have them. All of my favorite people, my family, my friends, my boyfriend. So it's just like, just thinking about them, it just makes me really happy. So, happy tears. These are happy tears that I have people, my support crew. So, shout out to all of you. Thank you, because without you, this road would have been a lot more difficult. And, you know, I didn't feel alone. And they were always there. I can't wait. Let me flip my hair again. Maybe that will make me feel better. More fluff. I jiggled it up. Dance. Okay, they're great people. They're awesome. I wish they could win an award right now. For real. My head hurts from these emotions. I can't. So I want to thank everyone that has always been there for me, because without you, this road would have been very difficult. And even though it was, you guys really always kept clearing my path and just kept taking out that dirt and mud out of the way. And you guys were always just pushing me and always motivated me to keep going, that there was no reason to stop. So thank you. all of you that have been there for me. So yeah, that's basically what I've been going through. You know, I am blessed. This is benign. It's not cancerous or anything, but just because it's benign doesn't mean that it's not a problem. You still have to deal with all of the medications and the side effects and any other like precautions that you have to take. Maybe you have to modify your life a little bit. Some people are living with this and they're completely normal. And maybe they just don't know, living their daily lives, and that's great. My family is a perfect example of this. My mom, she has millions of issues, and so does my aunt. My grandma too, like all have issues with their knees, with their bones, and arthritis and osteoporosis and all this stuff. You know, even though they have so much pain inside, they get up ready for the next day, put on their clothes or makeup, their hair, they get on fleek every day with a smile on their face. If there's a party, they will be there in high heels, bringing it on, slay all day, and nothing will stop them. The next day they will complain, like you won't hear no tomorrow about it. But why stop your life? Maybe all of your things could be internal and not anyone can see that. And it's great to put like your best face forward, but at the same time, it's also great to just fall back and let people see where you're vulnerable and let people in those times. Because at least for me, I don't like doing that, but I'm trying. If I could bring awareness to something, then I'm going to do that, because we're a strong woman up in here. Everyone's gonna judge you at the end of the day. We all fight our own battles. You're out in the sunshine doing whatever makes you happy, then you do you, boo. You got it. That's what you have to do. Who are we to judge other people and their battles? You know, we don't know, like battles that we're all going through on a day-to-day basis. It doesn't even have to be medically related. Today's age, everyone's so judgmental, and it's just like, you know, live your life the way that you want to live it. You know, if you want to talk about an issue that's really important to you, do that. If there's anything else that you guys know, please comment down below. This video was great. We laughed, we cried, we got scared. It was a horror film. Put your mindset in a positive way. If you say, I can do this, I will go far, and I will dream big, and I will make it, those things will happen. Feel the energies right now. Just feel these energies and just take them. Just take all these energies right now. And I hope I get those happy, positive thoughts right back. Give what we get. So I'm gonna give you all my happiness, and I hope I get all of that back in return. And I hope I'll upload something else a little bit more happier very soon. Stay tuned for more, even though it takes a little while, but I will get there.